So as I was saying, budget your giving, and when you have run out of the budget, then don't give anymore, because now you're going into your savings, you're going into other monies that you have you know, set aside for other things that matter to you. Remember, this is your money, and you have been given, you have been blessed to be a blessing. But being blessed to be a blessing doesn't mean that you know, it doesn't mean that you you don't put yourself first, you know. You don't take into consideration some things before parting with whatever you have to, you decide you will give, you know. And I think that's also the other thing. Decide what you will give. Decide whom you will give to, you know. Make decisions beforehand, so that you don't get caught off guard, and don't feel ashamed to be seen with your, I guess, you know, some people go home with their big cars and things like that they've accumulated in other provinces where they work. And you have to decide beforehand, like, how you're going to, you must structure your answers beforehand, man. You know, when people are making assumptions, you need to say, hey, January bills are waiting for me as well, you know. So I have to be wise in how I give and how I spend. And budget for spending is this much, and beyond that much, or for giving and for sharing and for contributing is this much. Beyond that much, I don't have a budget for other people. I only have a budget for myself. And don't be ashamed about that, you know. Otherwise, these are the kind of things that are getting you into all kinds of trouble in January. I just used this color on my eyelid, and now I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to use this khaki color at the ends over here. And also develop the courage to say no. What I've noticed is that a lot of the people that complain about black tax, they actually are afraid to say no. So they know that they get to control because they're the ones with money. So they are afraid to say no because they are afraid to relinquish their control of being the ones with money, their power of being the ones who will be listened to because they earn a high living, you know. So I think the moment you learn to say no, is the best thing that you can do for yourself going forward, you know. And it's not like a mean no, it's just like, oh no, I can't do that, my budgeting is dwindling for this kind of holiday, and I have to think about January, the kids are going back to school, so I have to make sure that there's something left over so that I'm not in a crisis. Also, you know, don't play into the guilt tripping. I've heard of instances where, you know, moms because let's say you are based in America. I'm going to use this brown color as a transition color. Let's say you are based in a rich country like America, and now you're coming to Africa to visit, and moms are setting an expectation in the entire, where is it? Okay. Moms are setting an expectation amongst the entire family and to the entire family, you know, that, oh no, so and so will provide when they get here, don't you worry, you know. And then you get somewhere and you've got expenses that you didn't budget for, and there are all these expectations that someone else has created on your behalf. If it's not their money, they have no right to create expenses for you. When you are going home, make sure that you are not put in a position where everything is waiting for you, you know. Like, say, hey, this is how much I'm budgeting to contribute into maybe fixing this or fixing that, but everything else do not let people put expectation budget on you. Okay, so and so is coming home, so here's our budget. We need to paint here, we need to fix the roof, we need to do this. No. Say, I only be clear about what your budget is for, and you don't have to say what the amount is, but when it's over, when it's finished, say, hey, that budget that I spent, that I set aside for this time to be with you guys is now over with. So you know, I'm now out and I cannot commit to any more. You know, like, people are expected to buy kettles, to buy all kinds of things every December. And people are like, we need these, we need that, and it's like, okay, like, you had an entire year to save your own monies and get yourself a kettle and get yourself a whatever it is that is broken fixed, but you were waiting for me in December. Really now? Again, my LA girl powder. Press it in. I didn't make too much of a mess actually with my eyes, so I'm just going to press it in and then buffer. Press it in and then buffer. So don't show up there at home trying to act like you have more than you actually have. Just keep it real, you know? Keep it real. Don't pretend like you have more than you have. And if you know that someone is watching your bag and is watching your purse and is watching your money, then don't spend money around them, because then it's not going to make sense for them. Like, okay, why are you spending money on this and this and that at this fancy place over here, but you're not giving me the money that I want? If, you know, like, certain things are just not going to make sense to some people, so try not to spend around them so that they're not confused about why you are spending on yourself now. Like, the summer holidays is not only about spending on other people back home, but it's also about also getting relief and getting rest for yourself. You know, it's not just about going back home to serve others, but it's also to rejuvenate yourself so that you have something to serve others with, you know? So yeah, I think learn to say no, learn to relinquish your power that you actually have because you're the one with the most money or whatever, and distribute that power and just let go of some of it, you know? And also budget it out, and when that budget runs out, do not go into any other savings. Just let it be and live within your means. Otherwise, you're the one who's frustrated at the end of the day. The people you're spending money on have moved on.